synergy between the parent company coming in and the company which has been take over. Revisit the mission and vision statement of the company, and not necessarily straight away impose unilaterally an external mission and vision. Retain what is really good about it. And in fact, a sound sign of leadership will be to even learn something from the company being taken over and transfer it to the parent company and demonstrably say so and raise the morale of the smaller company. Update the long-term plan. Bring in a reward punishment system which is objective and fair. That's something that people are looking for. Where managements have failed in governance, there's always an anxiety that there are preferred people, close confidence, various kinds of kitchen cabinets who have been colluding in the manipulations that the previous management has done, and they would be in a strong position to blackmail the incoming management. We need to re-establish very quickly a sense of equity in the organization. Revise budget, but in the light of the new environment, and make sure that the existing client relationships are protected and strengthened. Already there may be in some laws, competition is active in trying to attract them. So this change has to be done first, create a platform, and then that company can also come into the growth phase. The third kind of organization, which is a totally new organization, first of all needs consolidation, is that primary challenge. How to create the strong foundations of this new diversification, joint venture, or a totally fresh start in a small medium industry case, because the Indian economy is a long-term high growth economy. The BRIC countries, India is one of the four, Brazil, Russia, India and China. In fact, the global analysts now are coming back to the theory that there is some degree of decoupling beginning to take place, that these four economies are strong enough to keep the growth going for some time, till Europe first, US next, and Japan third, recover and come back into the global scene. The IMF World Bank forecast is that in 09 calendar year, the world economy will degrow by -2%. It can come back to 1% growth next year and 3% in 2011. Mainly these four economies acting as what is called the locomotive economies. Therefore, there will be many new opportunities. When the growth rate goes up to 7, 8, 9%, once more it will be place for private equity, venture capital, various kinds of IPO financing. But the foundations will be very strong. There must be a good launch strategy. We have a history of failures of techno-entrepreneurs, which have been fed by public financial institutions without adequate marketing and organizational leadership management skills. So we have to be very careful here to create a critical mass size of business. Not so large that it gets caught in a debt burden and cannot survive, not so small that it is not sufficiently cost-benefit effective. Start with a lean organization. Between 1996 and 2001, a major exercise that the Indian corporate sector went through is what is called corporate restructuring. It had three components, but they are not necessary. They became necessary because of the past errors of omission and commission over a 20-30 year period. The three restructurings were portfolio restructuring, what business to retain, which ones to get rid of because of the license permit Raj, companies entered various businesses. The second was financial engineering. Indian companies have very high debt. The realty companies are now rediscovering that problem. A company like DLF is having to sell their Saket property for 500 crores. In good times it might have been 1,500 crores. They are doing it in order to survive because that 500 certainly will grow to 5,000 in the next 5-7 years. So you have to make these very hard choices if you make those kinds of mistakes. So these companies have to start with a lean organization, with the right capital structure and cost basis. We are still a long way away from competing with China in many industries. In the international markets, they are our major competitor. We cannot ride purely on service industry. There has to be a strong manufacturing-based capability in India. We have the technical knowledge, but not the productivity. And I'm glad IMCI will be doing some sessions with the National Productivity Council. They also have to create a performance culture from the very beginning. For a long time in India, we created a survival culture, a maintenance culture. Now it has to be a high performance culture, a high performing organizations. It's too expensive to underperform and then weed out and face all those problems and difficulties. For example, there is already skepticism in the minds of many analysts that this government, although it has a strong mandate, may still have great difficulty in merging the 27 particular banks. 27 is too many. They have to become 5 or 7. But it will be stiffly opposed by the CPI, CPM, the Staff Association, the Officers Association. It is predicted they may have difficulty even merging State Bank of India and its 7 associate banks. Now, if you have difficulty doing that, merging other banks, but it is a crying need relative to global banks. Ours are very small, and if not 2009, when we will do it, we may get a grace period of another 2 years. We have to be ready by 2011 with strong banks. These new ventures have to use latest technology and systems as well. I've seen many companies with legacy systems in IT and MIS struggling to bring in ERP. And the problem is not with the hardware and the software. The problem is with the culture and attitudes of the organization. The one-time entry of data and screen-based decision making. People still continue on their old habits of parallel systems and their own Excel sheets and hunchback decision. So these new ventures have to be helped by us to start with the right technology and systems. They have to create a business model which can be replicated quickly. One of the failures of Indian small and medium sector is that they have continued to remain small and medium. The whole idea is to keep growing and cease to be a small medium enterprise. Come out of that sector by growth, by merger, acquisition. In competition, there will have to be creative destruction. So I see that this global tsunami and a domestic problem for us is on the whole, if you take a long perspective, and I'm now speaking really like a detached observer, guru, is healthy. As in Ayurveda, occasional illness, fever, temperature, escalating, or even a stomach upset. These are good, provided we learn the right lessons. We are human beings, we will commit excesses. This recovery will run into another crisis 4 or 5 years from now. Cycles of ups and downs are part of the global market economy. The Soviet Union tried to do away with it. It is not possible. The Chinese accept that there will be ups and downs, and they are having appropriate market policy. They are managing an amazing a single-party dictatorial political system, but a free competitive market economy. And they can't do it for too long, but at the moment they are managing it. So this problem that we have gone through, like the 1996 liberalization impact, is in the long run good, provided our clients, with our help, learn the right lessons. And there are many opportunities that I have mentioned, different kinds in continuing managements, new managements, and new kinds of organizations. I hope these are of interest to you and some value to all of you in your practice. I now look forward to your questions. There is a time provided for your comments, additions to my point, suggestions, what are the needs that you see, and any questions that I will say. Thank you.